in Harry's lawsuit about the security, he's claiming that they removed the security too quickly. They didn't give him time. They thought that it would be done eventually. Well, the royal family also thought that they would phase out and they would talk about it, about them quitting, and find a place and take some time to organize it. They were not given that courtesy, were they? They were told through Harry and Meghan's website that Harry and Meghan were leaving, had quit, and they placed a list of demands. They didn't give people time to say, wait a minute, what happened? They didn't give the courtesy to talk to them before they did that. They don't do that yet. They can bamboozle people. They can quit, fled, abandon, whatever you want to call their post within a minute. But the consequences of their decisions, they don't want to accept them, and they call them racism, and they think that their lives were put in danger. Well, it's not the monarchy's fault that they're stupid. It's not the monarchy's fault that they are arrogant and entitled. Thank you for watching. Please get into the video and let me know what you think. Please leave me your comments. Happy Sunday, beautiful people. For those who are coming back, thank you. For those who are new, thank you so very much. Thanks for watching my videos. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave your comments. Thanks for all the assistance to my channel, for your tips and everything. Thank you. I just did a community post about Märtha Louise, who's the Princess of Norway. And there was such an uproar that she was using her title. She's living in the States. But there was such an uproar that she was using the royal titles for a tour about a book or something that she did with, she's engaged to this shaman or whatever. It was such an uproar that, you know, the king, to his credit, King Harold, took note and said, wait a minute. He called his daughter and said, you can't do that. But in order to save face, they allowed her to, they allowed her to do the announcement herself as if it was something of mutual agreement, when it clearly wasn't. But they did it. So now Märtha Louise cannot use royal titles for commercial purposes, because royal titles must be used. Royal titles imply that you're representing the royal household. And Märtha Louise, does that mean that Märtha Louise, when she was going in her tour, promoting her stuff for her own personal financial gain, was she representing the royal house of Norway? Of course not. So now she can no longer use the royal title for commercial purposes, which is great. And let me tell you something. They still get a lot more advantages than most people, just because even though they know that they can't use the title, all the commercial houses know that she is a princess. Okay? Eugenie and Beatrice, they both have amazingly high-paying jobs and positions that probably they would have never, most likely would have never gotten it were it not for the fact that they're the granddaughters. They are the granddaughters to the late queen, and you know they know that in their personal lives they can use the princess titles, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to get the jobs they got. But still, to their credit, they don't use the princess titles for commercial purposes. If you go on the website of the companies that they work for, they don't have Princess Beatrice, blah, blah, blah. No, it's Beatrice York and Eugenie York. And I want to ask, why is the UK? But this is because Eugenie and Beatrice did it out of their own volition. Nobody forced them, and it was nothing. They decided to do it themselves. And it's a big credit to themselves, unlike their mother, who uses Duchess of York to sell, you know, toilet paper if she can. So why? And I posted that at least and you know what? The Spanish household, royal household, also have amended their ways, you know, and everything was slimmed down, and they listened to people. You know, with Iñaki Ungardariñ, the guy, the brother-in-law of King Felipe, I don't know if he finished his jail sentence, but he was 6 years in jail for fraud, for taking advantage of using a royal title in order to further his financial gains, and he committed fraud and all kinds of things. So those royal households have not allowed these people to slander, to denigrate, to belittle the reputation of their households. They have taken action. So why is the British royal household not doing the same? Is it because they've been able to get away with it for so long? Maybe. I don't know. I don't understand why everybody, especially the Sussex squad, is so up in arms that Meghan Markle, the Princess Meghan, why do they want to give a woman a title from an institution that she claims to hate, that she claims abused her, that she claims were racist towards her, from a nation that she also claims were racist towards her? Why would they do that? And most importantly, why hasn't King Charles made a decision to say enough is enough? Royal titles, as I posted in my community page, and actually I posted it at the beginning of the video, so you can pause it and read it. Royal titles should only be used when representing the royal household. They should not be allowed to be used for any commercial purposes at all. Even if Prince Harry and Meghan loses his titles, or he cannot use his titles in public, that means that Meghan won't be able to use her husband's titles in public for commercial gains. Okay? And they will only be able to use them when they're representing the royal British household. They should only be able to use them then. And since they don't do any engagements for the royal household, they can never use the royal titles. They cannot use the royal titles for anything, for the books, for anything. They could only use the royal titles when they're representing the royal household. Does that make sense? I've been advocating for this from the beginning. If you go, I don't know if you, from my channel, from the beginning, you can see that I've been saying that royal titles should only be used for royal engagements, because the royal titles, and this is what our American friends don't understand, that Meghan Markle is not doing everything as Rachel Meghan Markle. No, she's doing everything. All the crazy things she's doing with Spotify, with Netflix, Harry with the book, is as the Duchess of Sussex. When Meghan Markle wrote a letter to the Senate, she was lobbying. She's been politically lobbying in the United States, which is fine because she's an American citizen. But she hasn't been using her American citizen name. She's been using a title from a British organization. I don't know if you've been seeing that they're doing clusters every 8 hours of this video where they say that Meghan Markle broke with British tradition by voting in 2020. No, she didn't. Actually, the royals can vote. They're just not allowed to say who they vote for. The only one who can't is the Queen, I think, or the monarch. But royals can vote. They just can't take any political stance nor make their political opinions public. Simply because they're diplomats. They represent the royal family is deployed, and I like to use the word deploy. The royal family is deployed when politicians fail. And the only way that the royals can be effective is as if they're like Switzerland, if they're neutral. Because then people would be, they would be able to get people to come to see them and talk to them that otherwise wouldn't, because they're political, like China, whatever. Like Putin, all those people who would most likely would not talk to the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, they would talk to the Queen, the Queen or King Charles now, because the monarch was a neutral figurehead. And that is one of them. That is, if it's my opinion, that is the biggest weapon. That is the biggest advantage. Because when everything else fails, you deploy the royal family. We're supposed to remain neutral. This is why King Charles being so politically active is not good. So when they say that Meghan broke with British royal tradition by voting, no, she didn't, because she's not British. And she's not royal. She's married to a royal, but she herself is not royal. So what tradition has, and by the way, she wasn't working. They fled their positions and announced it on a website. And instead of being grateful that they were giving a year to think about it, because other companies, can you imagine if Oprah, somebody announced in a public website that to Oprah that they're quitting Oprah's company and they're listing all these demands, and then they go on the rival television show and they trash Oprah Winfrey or lie about her and slander her company? I can guarantee you there would be a huge lawsuit, because Oprah would not let that slide. Okay? So Meghan Markle is not royal. So she wasn't working for the monarchy. She's not British. She's not royal. So what royal tradition, British royal tradition, was she breaking? None. That's another lie. Okay? So why is it that the British people, and let me tell you something, I'm a bit peeved with Neil Sean, who keeps putting all these things. I'm sick and tired of all these royal experts who keep putting out misinformation. I don't know if the palace contacts them and asks them to put these things out to see how people react in order to gauge the reaction. But it's, Catherine is not extending an olive branch. We saw how Catherine feels about Meghan Markle. But these things are coming out and people are saying, and I love Angela Levin, but she should really give it a rest. About, King Charles wants his son back. Clearly he doesn't. In his speech, his first speech as king, he wished them well elsewhere, overseas, as far away as possible. That is not, King Charles could have used that opportunity to say, and Prince Harry, we wish him well, and hopefully someday he'll be part of, excuse me, he'll come back to work for them. No, he didn't. He used that speech to be very specific about what he was saying. Any titles that he was supposed to give, he gave them there. He could have announced that Prince Edward was now the Duke of Edinburgh, because he doesn't need to write it. The monarch can just also say it verbally and it becomes so. He could have also said that Prince Harry was no longer a prince of the royal, of the kingdom, and that would have also become effective. And Harry would have become Harry Mountbatten Windsor, Duke of Sussex. Or he could have said that Harry is no longer neither a prince nor a duke. He could have done that because he has the power to do that. Like I've been saying for the past year and a half in my channel. And I've been contradicted, called all crazy things, saying that I ridicule because Lady C said that I was, they needed an act of parliament, blah, 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 that I was insane, even though Parliament was saying, because remember, there were petitions, and Parliament responded that royal titles are completely at the monarch's discretion, and yet people still refuse to see that. So, having said all of this, guys, having said all of this, why is there so much resistance? Why are people still going on about being Prince Harry's birthright to be a prince? He's not. Or people saying that Lily and Archie automatically became prince and princess and HRHs. They didn't automatically become that. And these are royal experts saying this. There's a letters patent that says that they are entitled, that they can have those titles if the monarch, at the pleasure of the monarch. Clearly, the monarch does not pleasure it. Also, people are saying that King Charles is waiting for the Netflix thing and to see whether he gives him title. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. And now that's not true. Now we have the lawsuit from Harry about the security, and it's coming to light that he never told Ravik anything and that he feels entitled to get protection and that it happened overnight and it happened so quickly. How about them, what they did? What they did was sudden, without telling anybody. They quit and they fled the country. Meghan even left earlier. So he wonders why his security was quickly taken away, because that was a consequence of them fleeing the country and quickly quitting their positions without telling anybody and publishing it in a website. So he's entitled to surprise. They're entitled to surprise and take decisions that affect others and an institution. But the consequences of their decisions, they can't suffer them because it's racism. Let me know what you think.